Hey everyone, a very, very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining in on a Saturday evening. I am Janki Ravani, taking your demo and masterclass today on self-love, shadow work, how to hold space for yourself, how to become your own best friend, and how to reconnect with yourself to have greater peace. Before we begin, would I just be able to know where are you all joining in from? If you could put it in the chat box, I would love to know where you're all joining in from. I am, of course, sitting in Mumbai. It's been a nice, quiet day for me, and I'm so excited to be here. If there are some of you who are willing to switch on your cameras, I would love to also see you and interact with you. So many of you. Thank you so much. Hey, guys. By the way, my whole first screen is people who are wearing green. This is so cool. Lovely, lovely. Such happy faces. Thank you so much for putting on your cameras. And where are you all joining from?
I am joining from
Chat,
Calcutta.
but you can put it in the Telegram, chat.
Yeah, I've shared the link here. And we have got some reply also. Swati has joined from Bombay. Sunita has joined from Jaipur. Asmita has also joined from Bombay.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Jinal from
Fantastic.
Gujarat.
Jaipur, Gujarat, Indore, Mumbai. Amazing, amazing. Very nice. So lovely to see you all. Okay, now tell me, what is that one thing that you think is self-love? Like when I say the word self-love, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Again, you can put it in the Telegram chat. Self-care, okay. Self-acceptance, taking care of yourself, making time for yourself. Very good. Keep the responses coming. Taking care of yourself, respecting yourself. Very good. Putting yourself first. Setting boundaries. Very, very, very important. I love this. Accepting ourselves exactly as we are unapologetically. How lovely if we could just do that, right? Knowing who you really are, respecting oneself. Exactly. So you guys already know what is self-love, or what is that one thing that's really important for you, right? Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, again, put it in the chat box. How much do you think you're really able to love yourself? So knowing what is self-love is one thing. Knowing that you should respect yourself, you should put yourself first, you should take care of yourself, you should set boundaries, you should trust yourself. Knowing is one thing. But how much are you able to practice all those things? So on a scale of 1 to 10, put it in the chat box and I'm going to check the responses. 4 on 10, 8 on 10, 6 on 10, 5 on 10. Lovely, lovely. 5, 6. Great, 6. Okay. Okay. So we're mostly about 50% there, right? Another 5, 8. Very good. 5. So we all realize that there is some room for us to love ourselves a little more. Yes, and you can just nod on the call as well here. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions and I want you to just introspect and just nod a yes or no for the people who can see, who have your cameras on, and tell me whether you do struggle with this or not, right? And you can either just put your hands up or you can say yes. So how many of you feel you have low self-esteem? Okay. How many of you are people pleasers? Yes. Okay. How many of you don't really have the healthiest relationships and you always feel I'm giving more, not receiving so much, or people are taking advantage of me, people are taking me for granted? Yeah. How many of you sometimes are very aggressive and offensive and rebellious? Some of you sometimes? Okay. Or on the opposite end, a little shy and timid, and you let everything go to keep the peace. Ha ha ha. You say a yes to everything. Yeah. Okay. Some say yes, some say no. No worries. How many of you feel you are usually in denial of a problem? You don't want to look at it. Okay. Some yes, some no. How many of you feel anxious a lot of times? A lot of yeses coming up on the group. I see that. Okay. And do you all have people in your life who trigger you? Yeah. Yeah. This one seems to be like a universal yes. Okay. Now, why do I ask about this, right? There are many, many, many ways to practice self love, right? It's as simple as something like getting enough sleep, the nutrition while you eat mindfully, taking care of your body, exercising, keeping good relationships, people who are nurturing around you, allowing yourself to learn and grow and being kind to yourself. And amongst these very many ways that I have practiced over the last few years, there was one which I saw, which till I was not working on it, it took away my mental peace the most. And the minute I started practicing and working on this aspect, all of a sudden I realized I had a huge sense of inner peace, a lot of confidence, a lot of self-trust, and most importantly, I started becoming very compassionate towards myself, and by default, because that was who I became, towards others as well. Would you like to be more compassionate towards yourself? And by compassion, I mean, where you are kind to yourself, where you speak to yourself kindly, where you don't beat yourself up, where you don't all the time feel guilty or project, anger towards someone else for never getting it right. You're not irritable. You're just at peace. Is that something you would like? And you can just nod on your camera because I can see all of you. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for those responses. So this aspect that I'm going to take you through today is called shadow work. Okay. Now, does anyone know what is shadow work? And if there are any psychology students in the house, you would know this. So shadow work is what we do when there are parts of us that are hidden because they are not acceptable to people around us. There are parts of us that are too ugly to show. And we've been told as children that this is not good. If you do this, we don't like this. Don't show us this. So there could be faces that are where you think you're ugly, undeserving, vindictive, manipulative, jealous, evil, hostile, weak, judgmental, cheap, aggressive, critical, all these faces that we have. And believe me, we have every human trait that is ever expressed or shown by the good people, by the bad people, by the downright evil people. All of it, the entire range is present in us as well. But because we have been told that this is wrong, this is not acceptable, we start shutting those places down and pushing them into the dark place, the shadow. Now, what is the meaning of a shadow? Nobody shines a light there, right? It's in the dark. So you think nobody can see it. But here's where we go wrong. The things that we deny, the things that we are not willing to accept in ourselves, they are the things that come out at the most inopportune moments and grip us. Okay, they take us by surprise. So the shadow is the storehouse for all the unacceptable parts. Now, I would like you all to close your eyes and go into this little vision that I would like to share for you all. Shall we do it? If you could all just for a moment pause wherever you are, allow yourselves to close your eyes and just listen to this. What if today is time for something different? Something that's actually gentler and kinder. and easier on us? What if today is the day where we can actually be the kindness towards us that we always hoped someone else would be willing to be towards us? When you are today willing to be it for you, when you're willing to demand it for you, the world follows suit. We have all spent our lives looking for somebody who would be kinder to us, except it never worked out because you were never willing to be kind to yourself. And you just thought that if I can receive it from them, that perfect relationship, that perfect partner, everything could work out and I could finally feel I'm okay, worthy of being loved. No, it doesn't work like that. When you start feeling worthy from within, by accepting all those fragments, all those parts of you which you have rejected, which you're ashamed of, which you're embarrassed about, when you start accepting them, loving them, integrating them, slowly and steadily, you will have more peace within because you have nothing to hide. You don't feel ashamed and embarrassed about yourself. And that, my friends, is what we're going to do through shadow work. I would like you to open your eyes now and think, what is that one thing about myself that I'm most ashamed of, that I'm most embarrassed about, that I would hate for the world to come to know? This is me. What is that one thing? Can you put it in the chat box on Telegram? Fear. Hating people who hurt me. Okay. So my question to you is, what is that one thing you are very ashamed and embarrassed to admit you are, right? So someone says, I'm afraid of admitting I have fear, that I'm anxious and fearful. I hate people who hurt me. Nothing, the marks on my face. I hate to admit I'm jealous. I hate to admit I have constant need of validation. I'm insecure. I have a very slim body and pimples. Okay. Yes, yes. There are many parts of us that we're all ashamed about. Now, here's the thing. Okay. And let me tell you this little trivia. My practice, my healing practice, my coaching practice is called House of Happiness. Okay. So I founded House of Happiness in 2017. And a lot of people, and I'm a happiness coach, so a lot of people think House of Happiness is the place where you come to learn happiness. No, that's not what it means to me. While I took a year off to study happiness, the human mind, psychology, behavior, why people do the things they do, and multiple healing modalities, at one point when I was working with the mind and body, I realized that this mind and body are the only places we have to live for this entire lifetime. We can change everything else. We can change our house. We can change the people we live with. We could divorce a partner if it's not working for us. We could live with or away from our children. But one thing we can't do is change this mind and this body. And that's why I realized it's very, very important to make this mind and body your house of happiness, your happy place to live, because this is where you're going to live your entire life, right? Call my practice your house of happiness. Let's teach you how to make it your house of happiness. So for all the people who have said, I'm ashamed that I'm overweight or I have pimples, a tummy, anger. Somebody says, how are you so confident? Why I become needy in relationships, constant validation. Yes, all these things about us, if we won't love ourselves for it, how can we expect someone else to, right? So today I'm going to take you through this. Let's at least begin working on this, right? And let me quickly tell you also, self-love is a journey of a lifetime. It's not something you do overnight. But today, what we are going to do is we're going to teach you a little technique and sow the seeds of self-love so that if you keep practicing this over and over a period of time, you will start truly loving and accepting every bit of you, good, bad, and ugly. Okay? So let's begin. So now that you've written down, now I would like you to keep a pen and paper handy for this part. Does everyone have a pen and paper? Just give me a thumbs up on camera or put a yes in the chat box. Okay. I'm giving you a few seconds to go and get yourself a pen and paper because now we are going to do the actual work. Okay, lovely. Now, allow yourself to write down the one thing that you just cannot accept in yourself. And now write down all the judgments that you have about this aspect of you. Like, why is it so wrong? What's so bad about it? Sandeep, if you have a question, can you put it on the Telegram group? Yes. So I asked you to write, what is that one thing that you hate about yourself, right? Which you just can't accept. And when you recognize that one thing, so somebody's written weight, somebody's written my insecurity, somebody's written my body, or a constant need for validation or marks on my face, whatever you've written, write that down and write all the judgments that you have. So for example, that one thing I could not accept in me was that I was very lazy. And the judgments that I had about my laziness was that, you know, if I'm lazy, I'll never be successful. I'm not passionate enough or dedicated enough. So I don't put in the work, which means I can never, you know, be successful the way my friends are. Or it's important to, you know, hard work is important for success. If you're not willing to work hard, you can never have success. Or, you know, when you're lazy, everybody hates you and shouts at you because you're not willing to do work. These were all the thoughts that were running in my head about my own laziness, right? So if somebody's written, for example, my weight, okay? So your judgments about your weight could be, you know, fat equals ugly, fat equals undesirable, fat equals unhealthy. If I'm fat, nobody will love me or marry me, or they will think I'm a, you know, like an ugly person. So we all have these points of views about that thing that we don't like in ourselves, which is what makes it bad for us to be that, right? So write down all the judgments that you have. So somebody says, I keep replaying the past, which I'm working on. Okay. And is that something you dislike about yourself? I can't take it if somebody insults me for a mistake of mine, and I can't take it out from my mind easily. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So let's look at this part where somebody is saying, I can't take it if somebody points out a mistake. Now, I'm just going to take that as an example. So what are the judgments you have about when somebody points out your mistakes? What does that mean to you? And everybody write for your thing, right? What are the judgments you have for your specific case? Okay. Now that you've written these judgments, I would like you to think about the first time that it happened. Okay. Let's say the first time somebody called you fat or lazy, or the first time somebody commented on your body or the marks on your face. Or the first time somebody said, you're so scared or you're so insecure. And how did you feel that first time? A lot of people don't realize that when we feel something, it gets stuck in our cellular memory. Our body remembers the first time something happens, and then that becomes the lifelong connection it makes. So it's like the mind kind of files it. So for example, if I wore a red dress and that day somebody called me that I'm looking fat, in my mind, I might file away for life that red makes me look fat, right? It doesn't matter that maybe it was the material or the cut of the dress or something. But in my mind, I just said red makes me fat. So I might never wear red again. And if I wear red, I might always be conscious that it makes me fat. Okay. So the first time somebody mentions something, we kind of take it as a rule for life until such time that you ever work on it consciously to change it. Okay. Is it Asmita, is it, would you like to come on as because there is a lot that I'm sensing on the chat here that you're sharing. Can someone check if Asmita is willing to come on and I can take her case right now for everyone, to experience this work? And of course, if there's anyone else that wants to come and is willing to be online with me, I'm happy to take them.
Sure, Janki. I would request Ashmita to let us know what's her name on Zoom, because I can't see anybody named Asmita here.
Okay.
And I would like to inform everybody that we are recording this call and we will be sharing it on social media platforms. So please be mindful of sharing personal details. And Janki, just confirming, we will need people to be on camera.
Yes.
All right. So we have Netravati and Bhavna Banerjee. They have raised their hand. So
Yeah, I can see also Nehal says, I want to come online. So whoever, if Ashmita is not there, anyone who's willing and brave enough and wants to be vulnerable and get through this one thing once and for all, let's do it. I'm willing to have that person here.
I've sent unmute request to Nehal.
Okay. Nehal, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Would you be able to put your camera on?
Yeah, just a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Nehal.
Hi. Just a minute. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Nehal. So lovely to see you. Hi.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is it that, you can't just accept about yourself?
No, this is the pattern which I've been seeing for the last, it has been identified, and it is getting repeated, is that, see, when you are, kind of exploring with someone, right, you need to put a lot of efforts. And then what happens is that, you are maybe your expectations comes in such a way that it doesn't get fulfilled. And you feel rejected, dejected, sorry, insulted, everything, in a way that it's not a very serious issue, but still you feel rejected, right? So that is where I think I need to really take my power back.
Yeah. And that is something that bothers you about you. Like, why do I feel so needy? Why do I have expectations? And then why do I get rejected? And then, I feel so insulted.
Yes. I mean, while it is not an insult purely, but still you feel emotionally insulted.
Yeah, that rejection is, it kind of hurts, obviously. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So I would like you to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you think this is, how bad do you think this is right now for you?
Currently it is 8 or 9.
It's an 8.
It just happened. It just happened this today morning. So I'm trying to release from myself why it is happening. While I'm okay if it happens, but it it should not have reached to the stage where I get entangled with that individual without any commitment. Correct? You're getting my point. Even with a friends, why do I get in with a friend, not friend, sorry, with a friend, one or two, why should I get entangled, right? Because there is a sense of needy, sense of being acceptance by that person, or you start liking that person. It could be many things, but then why should I only get into a zone where I feel insulted or I feel rejected? I'm not able to then pull myself back to restore myself in the original way where I was.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. Lovely. So shall we dive in?
Yeah,
I'm
please.
just, of course, going to keep this short, but let's make you look at that part of you which you're not able to accept, right? That's the point of shadow work. So put your camera in a way so that your hands are free.
1 minute, yeah, I'll just do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, I think. Wait. Yeah.
I again want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing, because when you speak up and share, believe me, the whole group learns from this experience, right?
No, but I have to resolve this. I am happy if
That's what
someone
I'm
else is
saying.
learning from me, but I need to just get rid of it so that I come back to my own power back. Very, and it's like a quick fix solution, but I don't know how much it will help. But I'm still,
Help.
yeah.
So close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and center yourself. Put one hand on your heart and feel your heartbeat. As you breathe in deeply, and as you do this, look at that needy part of you. Allow yourself to see how you were behaving in the morning or before, multiple times. As you said, it's a pattern. So see that needy part of you. See that one who has so many expectations, who wants to demand from friends, wants to see it fulfilled, wants to know they're also equally committed and there in the relationship just as I am, who's always willing to give so much and expecting that people will also give me so that I know even I mean something to them. The one that's looking for acceptance, for validation. Can you see her? Yeah. You can put your hand down now. Yeah. And as you see her, just watch her for a moment. See the thoughts that are coming up as she is being needy. What is the voice in your head saying? Yeah. What are all the thoughts that are running in your head as you see this needy person?
I find why she's begging so much, and what is the solution to it? And is that she's so desperate that why she? I mean, desperate in a good sense, not in a bad sense, actually. And if she's liking someone, then that person also has to kind of reciprocate accordingly, but that doesn't happen because every individual is different, and at times the men's community also, like, they have the different tantrum, so they have a different mindset. Of course, women are more emotional, right? So
yeah
those are things.
yeah Great. So now that you see this and your thoughts that you have heard, think, when was the first time you felt this way?
I think long back, because I was I during the childhood, I was not so great looking. Abhi to I'm quite presentable. So in the childhood, I had a lot of inferiority complex कूट कूट के भरा था because of my face. अभी तो कुछ नहीं है, but वो बचपन में बहुत सारे I had a lot of pimples and mark, and it was there for 10 years, right? So technically you have lost completely school and college. And you were never open to talk to people. And you were very shy and very reserved and very much kind of, okay, fine, you know, what if I will go to someone, she will ask me about my face. And it has happened many times. In the train, people used to ask me about these issues, right? So it was very kind of, it's like a very dukhi atma I was when I was a kid, actually speaking. Yeah.
Right. So can you keep your eyes closed and see yourself at the peak of that phase where you had all these marks, these pimples, and you felt inferior or unpresentable completely, where all these people would come and ask you about it very insensitively or out of just curiosity. And see that girl who feels so embarrassed and so like, I wish people would just leave me alone. This is hard enough for me. I don't want to sit here and give you an explanation, right? And now, yeah, you wanted to say something?
No, I was always questioning myself that why I'm not pretty.
Yeah.
I was not into.
Yeah. So now that you see this younger you, who doesn't feel so pretty, in fact, who feels possibly ugly, I want you to go sit next to her. The you of today, sit next to the younger you. And just think, what is that one thing that she's craving most importantly, more than anything else?
A beautiful face. And the beautiful face, what else? I mean, she should be beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So it's
And
accepted by people, and she get a good boy to get kind of get
right.
life partner.
So she's craving acceptance, right? She wants the beautiful face because that she thinks that will get her accepted, right? Right. So she wants acceptance, right? And can you be the one today to give her that acceptance? Can you tell her that I love you and I accept you? This phase will pass. These things, they are hormonal, they are things that you're going through. I understand they are difficult. It doesn't matter. You still have a beautiful heart. You are beautiful. All she wants is for you to see her and accept her. She actually doesn't care about the world. She wants you to accept her for who she is, despite everything. Can you just hold her hands or hold her and hug her and tell her you're sorry? You're sorry for having rejected her. You're sorry for having judged her. You're sorry for having listened to everybody, bought their points of views, and in the process, rejected yourself. Allow her to express her pain of being rejected to you. Hear her, listen to her. Just sit with her. This is not about you today. You are okay today. This is about her. All she wants is for you to love and accept her. Are you able to do it?
Yeah, a little partially. Of course, my morning thoughts also there in my mind parallelly, because it was also another releasing of entanglement have to be done with that also in the morning.
Yeah. But right now, this younger you is the one that needs attention, because she is the one in every single relationship sabotaging and feeling, oh, I can't have this person. because I am not beautiful, because I am ugly, because I am not worthy. And when you resolve and make peace with her, when you accept her, it will change every relationship you have. Can you acknowledge her for things other than her face? Look at her as a complete package. The qualities she has beyond her looks. Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about this now?
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like you to give her a hug now and tell her, I'm sorry for having judged you. I'm sorry for having rejected you. I'm sorry I was the one rejecting you all along, not realizing and projecting it onto all the people I was being in relationships with. I want you to know I love you. I accept you. I want you to know it might take a little while, but I'm going to continue to give you this love and acceptance until the day that you truly see yourself as beautiful. And as you hug her, see her melting into you, feeling a little more accepted, feeling a little more at peace. Can you feel that? As she integrates completely into you, you can take a few deep breaths and check in with your body how you feel. And slowly open your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you one little insight. Today, as you rightly said, today there is no real problem, right? Today you're okay. You are fairly presentable. You are fairly confident about yourself today. So every time this fear comes up and this pattern comes up, recognize that it's the younger you who always felt rejected, who always felt inadequate or unpresentable. That fear is coming up from there. It's not you today. It's the younger you. So every time this feeling comes up when you are in a relationship or talking to a friend or anyone, and that little fear of rejection or insecurity comes up, take a deep breath and talk to your younger self. And the minute you calm down your younger self, you can come back to being you as you are today at this age. It's the younger you that acts up every single time. It's not the you of today. The you of today is perfectly beautiful, right? You have beautiful hair, beautiful skin. You look lovely today. But it's that little girl who needs reassurance that, hey, it doesn't matter. I'm here for you. Do this for a week, for 10 days, and see the difference. You'll start feeling more and more assured of yourself from within.
So I need to tell my younger self that I'm there with you. You're fine.
So
You're
your
completely
younger
good.
self is not craving that acceptance from the world. She's craving that acceptance from you. And the minute you accept her for it, it won't matter that the world accepts her or not. And that is in your hand. That is in your, you said, I want my power back. I want to take the control back. This is how you take the control back, by you becoming the source of that acceptance, which she's craving from the world, thinking if she gets it from there, she will feel accepted. No. The day you give it to her, she'll feel accepted. Make sense?
Yeah. So when do I need to do it as a routine practice, or how do I do this every
Right.
time?
You can do it as a routine every day in the morning, or you can also, if you want to work deeper on it, you can of course do a session. But even if you do it every day in the morning by yourself in front of the mirror, that's also going to be fine.
So what do I have to tell in the mirror? The affirmation?
I love you. I accept you. I think you're beautiful. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a 9 on 10 before. How do you feel about it right now?
Yeah, it's better. Well, it's getting better 7, but I still have those images of the morning. So I need to just tell, how do I just get it rid of?
So in some cases, if it's traumatizing you too much, I would recommend, take a session to get it out, because sometimes it requires, deep work. If it's gripping you very, very strongly, it might need more time to resolve, but it's definitely a good start for you to start with mirror work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. And if you're willing to work on it, let me tell you, it can be worked upon a lot more easily, given a little time.
And how does that happen? One-on-one session?
Yes. So of course, one-on-one sessions, and I'll be sharing that later. But through one-on-one sessions, we can go as deep as you need to really see what all, where or are those entanglements gripping you, and then slowly start cutting away so you can be free.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Right. Coming back to everyone else who is here, once you've written all the judgments that you have about your case, right? Your specific thing that you can't stand about you, I would like you to think, when was the first time, and I hope you all have done it along with Nehal. I'm going to check the chat and see. Okay. Okay. So a lot of people have done it simultaneously and are saying it was beautiful, it is empowering. Okay. So I'm just going to still give you the technique and how you can complete the process for those who may not have been following it for themselves simultaneously. What you need to do is, once you've written all the judgments, check, when was the first time I remember feeling this way? Who told me that this is wrong about me? Think of the context, the bigger picture, not only red dress equals fat, but that specific red dress, or maybe that person didn't like the red dress, right? So think of the bigger picture. Allow yourself to recognize whose voice, when it happened, and think of that younger you who instantly went into a shell the minute they were made wrong for this. And then you need to go, and just the way I did the process with Nehal, you need to go and make peace and assure your younger self they are okay for it. Any questions so far? How to forgive and let go. And Ritu says, today I made friends with my younger self. So lovely. What if you don't remember the first time? Remember any previous time. Even if you don't remember the first time, remember any previous time that this has happened to you, one which really stands out in your mind, like that was a very significant event in your mind, and allow that to happen, right? Okay, now somebody's asking, how do I forgive and let go? The reason we don't let go is because we are afraid the pattern will repeat. The minute you learn your lessons, the pattern can stop repeating, because, so it's like this, right? Have you ever had a cup of chai, right? You have a cup of chai and you'll keep holding it till such time that there is something in it, right? I will not let this go, and I'll keep talking, walking around office or sipping it. And the minute it's over, what will I do? The minute I've consumed what's inside, I will just put it away. The reason we are not able to let go is because we have not consumed the lesson inside that event. That requires, again, some amount of work. But the minute you learn the lesson, the minute you say, okay, what did this teach me? What will I do next time? What's truly going on underneath here? What can I do differently next time to make sure it doesn't happen to me again? The minute you take the entire learning, then it's easier for you to let go. Again, I would recommend work on this if you can by yourself. If you can't, take the help of a therapist. It's much easier when you have a neutral party who can see the patterns clearly, who can help you break the patterns and get free from that thing. Okay. Okay, so Nishikant, would you like to come on the group and share? So Nishikant says, in childhood, there is one incident I felt weak and vulnerable and a victim. Until today, that pattern pops up. I still feel weak. How can I give support to my that time younger self? How can a powerless give power to another? Please show some light. If you're willing to come and, do a demo right now with me, I would love that.
Hello.
Yes. Can you put on your camera and... Hi, Nishikant.
Hello,
How are you? How are you?
fine. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for giving me this chance.
You're most welcome. Yes, here you are. So a very warm welcome to you, Nishikant. Where are you from?
Presently, I'm in Mumbai, madam. Mumbai, Maharashtra.
You're in Mumbai. Lovely. Me too. Awesome. So you want to tell me a little more about that incident in quick, in like a minute or two?
Yeah, madam. Actually, I could go to this particular piece in myself just yesterday with your session. I got more clarity yesterday. That yesterday one incident happened. From that, I could connect during your call. That incident is from my childhood. I was in school. I have been a very bright student throughout my school and college, and I was very studious also. But one incident was there before the school to start. I was going to school, and one bully guy with 2-3 his friends were standing on the ground, and because of some argument or something, he pushed me and he said, see, in Marathi, he said, see, he's fuska, means no powerless or something like that. And that instance I felt very bad at that time. And because I was very much praised and appreciated by all teachers, parents, relatives, because I was very bright, coming always standing first. When he pushed me and I fell on the ground in front of all boys, 3-4 boys, I felt very, very weak and very powerless. And during your session yesterday, I could correlate that same feeling pops up so many times. And because of that, I become very violently reactive to all people. I could not get what was the reason for myself losing so much my control. But yesterday and before few days also, I've been working on myself. So yesterday I could correlate that too is the incidence which is popping up, and without my any conscious control, I lose control and I become very angry. So
Yeah.
as in the exercise previously said, you give power to your younger self. Now also when this incidence erupts, I'm not able to control myself. So that was the query.
Yeah. All right. So Nishikant, thank you first of all for coming online and sharing this. One of the things that happens is, as I explained to Nehal as well, the Nishikant today is strong and powerful, is sensible, is wiser, has a lot more education, even physical strength. But the younger Nishikant is the one that keeps popping up. And
Yes.
that humiliation and anger and helplessness and powerlessness that the younger you felt is the one that is covering up the more sensible and the older, wiser you today, because that one is unresolved, right?
Ma'am, today also I feel many incidences I feel very weak.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel that I
So,
can be a
so
victim to somebody.
firstly, I want you to give a name. So, what is the pet name that you use for the younger you?
That I just now use with some fuska, I will say.
No,
Not
no, no. A
hmm.
pet name you use for yourself, not the name they gave you.
Myself, Nishi, they call me.
Nishi, okay? So
Yeah.
let's say every time you feel powerless, first thing I want you to do is recognize this is not the me of today. Today I'm okay. I'm stronger, wiser, smarter, right? I have a lot more resources at my disposal. So the one that's feeling weak and powerless, and this feeling that's coming is actually from the younger me, from Nishi, not from me of today.
Hmm.
It's from the younger me. So the first thing you do is separate yourself from the younger you so that you can attend to his needs. Now think, what are his needs? When he
Maybe
was
he
feeling
wants, yeah.
humiliated or insulted or made fun of in front of everybody, what was he really craving? What was that one thing he was really wanting in that moment?
I felt that I should have more physical strength, more physical power, or maybe something like that.
Hmm. He wanted somebody's backing. You know, कोई भाई
Yeah,
पीछे खड़ा है जो
yes, yes, yes.
बोलेगा चल तू जा देख लेते हैं, right?
Hmm.
He would have
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
that. Okay,
yeah.
so
Or
let's do
maybe
that.
myself becoming Superman, like something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Myself
So,
having some
so
powers.
do that right now. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and see that younger you. See that younger you who's just been pushed. He's been called some names. He's feeling powerless. He's feeling hurt. He's feeling embarrassed. And as you see him, you, the older you, go up to him, pick him up, and as you would care for a younger little child right now, take care of that younger you. Check if he's hurt. Tell him it's okay. Tell him I'm here for you. And in a way that he feels the truth of your words, by looking into his eyes, holding his shoulders, look into his eyes and tell him, you are strong. Yes, these guys are physically bigger right now and maybe they pushed you, but you have what it takes to stand up for yourself. And I'm here with you, but I want you to go and stand up for yourself against them. See yourself telling that to the child, the younger one, and him going and doing that then. Is the child feeling convinced? Yeah. And tell him, yes, I know you are not as strong as them, but I know you are strong enough to stand up for yourself. And if at all, remember, I'm here with you. I've got your back. You're not alone. I am backing you in every moment. You go for it. And tell him to go and say what he needs to those people. Did he do it? Okay, what's happening?
it's not able to go and tell them that.
So you want to hold his hand maybe and go up to them and tell them together? Will that make him feel more confident?
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Go with him.
Yes.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now walk away. And as you walk away, put your hand around the younger you and tell him, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you did it. You have it in you. And anytime that you feel, I'm not sure, just remember, I'm always here. Reach out to me. I've got your back. You're not alone. Okay? And I would like you to now give him a resource, like something that if he ever needs you, he has to just do that and then boom, you'll be there with him. So maybe a mobile phone with speed dial or a magic mirror or a key or a letter, something that he can just instantly connect with you. Give him something. What did you give him?
I told him to just clap once and I will be there.
Super.
Take my name and clap.
Super, super, super. Like Shazam. Awesome, awesome. Great. So how is the younger you feeling now?
Very happy and supported. Now he feels that he can do anything without any fear.
Fantastic, fantastic. So feel that and give him a big hug for being so brave to go and face his fears, to go and stand up for himself. And the lesson that he's just learned, that this trust and confidence that he just got in himself, as you hug him, feel it in every cell in your body. As you hug him, note that I am strong. I have the power within me. I can take care of myself. I've got my own back. And as he merges completely into you, feel that integration, feel more whole and complete, and just see how your body feels.
I got goosebumps.
Lovely, lovely. You can open your eyes and come back. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So are you feeling that part is resolved?
Maybe I need some practice.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, go ahead.
Many of my decisions I can now see, those were major factor has been this fear only.
Lovely. And now, and this is how it works, right? Every time that now you have a new neuro pathway, the one that says, I'm confident, I'm stronger, I've got my own back, I can do this. And there is the old neuro pathway, which was the experience of the younger you. Now, this one has, you're stopping to nurture it. Yeah, if you stop watering a plant, it's going to wither and die eventually. This is the one that you will keep nurturing. So every time you come into an event now or interaction now, you'll have both neuro pathways for a little while overlapping. Consciously, you'll have to feed the new one and remind, say, yeah, this was my old one. I'm not going to give it any attention anymore. This is the one that I'm going to nurture and continue to function from. This is my new reality, right? So it will take a little practice, but you'll be able to do it much more easily now that that incident has been resolved. Yeah.
And for getting power, need I look to somebody else, or I present myself has to give power?
You. So you take power from the younger you because he's the one who's gone and stood up, and he takes power from the older you because he knows you are backing. And between the two, you're sorted. You don't need a third person, right?
Yes.
You all are everything you need.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Most welcome. Thank
You're
you.
like
Thank you
angel
for
for me.
coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up and allowing everybody to benefit from your experience. Thank you,
Thank you.
Nishika.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. How could you heal the need for external validation? Right. So let me now go to this portion. Since everybody is mentioning it, it was not part of my demo, but I will interact and share this. Anything that you crave from externally is something that you need to start giving yourself. Okay, let me tell you this small example, and then we'll quickly jump into what I have in store for you. And in the end, we are going to do how to neutralize triggers. We've done a little bit of holding space for yourself, becoming your own best friend, and shadow work. After this story, I'm going to take you through what I have in store for you, and then we'll go to neutralizing external triggers. So I remember I have a tulsi plant right here outside my little window, and it's a beautiful tulsi plant. I love plants, but once I started getting them, I noticed that every time I would water my tulsi plant, and over a period of time, some of the tulsi seeds would fly and go down onto the floor. And in good time, there was a big tulsi plant on the ground floor, just below my window. Now, it so happened that one day I had to go for a trip for about a week, 10 days. And in all the excitement of the trip, I forgot about my tulsi plant. We went. By the time we came back after the trip, I saw that my tulsi plant was dead. Unfortunately, the heat and the sun in the window every day had killed it. The lack of water from my part had killed it. But I noticed something very interesting. The tulsi plant, which was down on the ground floor, even though I had not watered it just the way I had not watered the one in my window, that one was absolutely okay. And then I really thought, and it struck me, how come this one died and that one stayed healthy as ever? And I realized that this tulsi plant in my window did not have a water source of its own. It was dependent on me to water it. If I watered it, it lived, it thrived. If I didn't water it, it died. Whereas the tulsi plant on the ground had spread its roots deep down on its own and connected to a water source in the groundwater. And if I was not there to water it, it said, doesn't matter, I still have my own source. It pulled water from the ground and nurtured itself. And that, my friends, is what we need to do in life. We can wait for all the love, the appreciation, the respect, the validation, the compliments, the kindness. We can wait for someone else to give it. If they give it, we are happy. But if they don't give it, we become all sad and dead. Instead of that, just recognize I can be the source of everything I require in my life. If you want compliments, start giving them to yourself. If you want people to appreciate your work, start appreciating your work yourself. If you want people to be kind and gentle and respectful of you, start doing that to yourself. Remember, how you treat yourself is how people treat you. And if you're not willing to give it to yourself, you can't receive it from anyone else, even if they in fact are giving it to you, because your receptors are shut. Right? So with that, can we go on to what we have in store, Simran? I want to share with you, what I've designed for you as in the workshop, so that I can take you all through this in a lot more detail. Awesome. Awesome. So thank you so much, Simran. And the first thing I have in store for you is a workshop. And the second one is, of course, one-to-one sessions. Now, let me tell you about the workshop. This 4 hours workshop is going to be held on Zoom. It's online. Of course, you're going to get the replays. You're going to get a participation certificate. More than that, it's going to be a declaration of I choose myself. I'm the choosing one. I choose to become the source. Okay. And you're going to get declarations, affirmations, self-love reminders, and all of that. It's happening on the 18th of March, which is a Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, in this workshop, I'm going to be covering for you how to reconnect with your true inner self. Right now, we think we are these flawed characters, these messed up characters. We think we are not good enough. We need to hide things about us. We need to put on a mask to be presentable and acceptable to other people. And we are constantly making ourselves this tiny. But what I really want to show you in the workshop is how glorious you truly are. If you didn't have to make yourself wrong for everything, if you had to just stop hiding and show up in full glory, how would that self feel? I want to reconnect you to that self. What I'm also going to do is share why self-love is so important. Did you know your financial reality, how much money you make, depends on how much you love yourself, how worthy you think you are? The quality of your relationships, how much love and respect and appreciation, how much nurturing you can receive is dependent on how much you love yourself. How people treat you is dependent on how much you love yourself. Your physical health, your immunity, all this is dependent on how much you love and how connected you are, because when you're connected to your body actually talks to you. And all this I'm going to show you through the workshop, right? Most importantly, in the workshop, we're going to learn to hold space for ourselves, build that beautiful, nurturing relationship, which we crave other people give us. I'm going to teach you how to do that for yourself. And believe me, I was 5 years back, 6 years back, a person who hated the way she looked. I hated everything about my looks. I hated that I was this tall. I hated that I had these features. I hated that I had, this body, very fat thighs, very fat arms, like just not good enough. From there to today, feeling I am so beautiful. Every time I pass a mirror, I say, wow, Janki, you are so beautiful. And coming from there to there has been a huge shift for me. Feeling my laziness is wrong, I'm just not good enough, I'll never be successful, to today feeling like, wow, I found my purpose in life. I found it, I fixed it for myself, and I want to help so many more people. It makes me wake up with joy every morning, and I want you to have that. Waking up with the joy of being you, which you can only do when you stop making yourself wrong, stop beating yourself up, and really start seeing you for the gorgeous human being you are. Okay. Of course, how to let go of the anger, resentment, self-hate, anger at others, all of that, so that you can clear your blocks and come back to a place of peace. And do you know, when you clear your blocks and come back to a place of peace with yourself, naturally you start manifesting faster. That's a byproduct, which we won't try to manifest faster, but just clearing your blocks is going to make you manifest everything faster, because when you clear those blocks, you can actually get present to what you really want in life. And that makes you, with that clarity, you can manifest faster. And of course, we'll also be creating a sustainable self-care routine where you can know simple ways in how you can nurture and care for yourself in a healthy, sustainable way every day, right? So through this workshop, you're going to get a lot of benefits, which I've already told you. And one of the most important things is you will take your power and control back. You will stop getting triggered. You will stop being the football that gets kicked around everywhere emotionally. And you'll be the one in control of how you feel, recognizing your truth, recognizing and neutralizing your triggers so that you can have more peace in life. Right. And very importantly, you're going to connect with your inner child and heal it just the way we did for 2 people right now. All right. Okay. Now, as a bonus for this package, which is the workshop, you're also going to get a self-exploration workbook. And this workbook, the picture of which is attached here, is an ebook. It's a downloadable PDF that you can take a printout of and then, write in it and maintain that as your self-love journal. Of course, needless to say, after the workshop, you get a group support call for 3 months. We'll be connected on the group to share personal journeys, experiences on and off. I will be sharing self-love reminders every single day for 31 days on that group. And we will all be there to cheer each other as a group. And I've always seen this, one-to-one sessions are beautiful. They are very powerful. But when you have a group working with you, it's always better because each one inspires the other to keep going, right? And that is the joy of group work. Can we move forward? Okay, so this package that would actually otherwise cost you about 18,000 rupees, I'm offering to you today, and today is the end of the 24 hours. So just for today, if you sign up, it's being offered to you at 2,991. Did we lose the screen?
So sorry, just give me 10 seconds, please.
No problem. So this workshop is being offered to you at under 3,000 rupees only for today. Okay, I would like you all to make the most of it. And believe me when I say you can keep waiting all your life for the perfect moment, for the perfect person to come and choose you and tell you you are perfect, you are amazing. But the day you start choosing yourself, you will have a different level of confidence and control over your life. Okay. So thank you, Simran. We're back. This workshop is at 2,991 only for today. You only have a couple hours. I would say jump in because 3,000 rupees versus learning tools that you can use for a lifetime. I think it's a steal. I don't usually offer these prices, but I'm very, very happy to offer them today because I really want more and more people to experience the joy of being at peace with yourself and truly loving yourself. Okay. Now, package B is a one-to-one session. Now, these sessions are a 1-hour session where it's only you and me. We deep dive into whatever it is that bothers you about yourself in any area of your life. So it can be you and your financial reality, you and your relationships, your physical health, because even recurring illnesses are psychosomatic. They are caused by subconsciously emotional things that you have pushed aside, which you're not willing to look at. So let me tell you, there was a client I had who came to me with big, you know how you get blisters in your mouth? She came with blisters on her tongue, on the top of her roof of her mouth, and on her hands, and on her skin, big, like the size of a 1 rupee coin, big blisters. And when we did a one-to-one session, and that was actually her body telling her subconsciously that you've stored so much anger. And the minute we finished that 1.5 hour session, by 80%, it went down in 24 hours, which through medicine and doctors and allopathy, she had been struggling to control for 3 months. In 24 hours, it went away because she addressed the emotional cause underlying, which was her anger in this case. So one-to-one sessions are very powerful. They help you see what's truly going on. And the good part is, with the one-to-one session, I will also be teaching you tools that you can use on a daily basis in just about 5 seconds to shift anything in your life. And these tools stay with you for life. So I'm not only somebody who does therapy, I also teach you how to become the source of your own healing and happiness. Okay. We will do whatever it takes in the session. So irrespective, whether it's an inner child required or whether it's physical, psychosomatic illnesses, whatever is required, we will be working on that. Okay. Now, the bonus that you get along with this workshop is really cool. Along with this one-to-one session is really cool because Simran, if you can go ahead, as a bonus for somebody who takes this, you will also be getting the self-love workshop for free. Okay, so if you pick a one-to-one session, which otherwise generally is for a lot more, this as a special offer for Mystic Lotus, I will be giving it to you only for 4,000. Yeah, it's otherwise costing you 35,000, but I'm giving it to you at 4,900 only. Okay, which is again a very competitive price, because I truly want you to experience what it feels like to be free of all those conflicting negative thoughts of constantly feeling inadequate and guilty for being so less. I want you to realize your true self. Okay. There is also a beautiful diary that I give my clients. So it'll be a similar diary if you sign up for a one-to-one session. This one says Born to Shine, but I have multiple diaries. Some say I choose happiness. Some say nothing can dull my sparkle. I would also be sending you a diary and posters, which remind you of the power that you have in your own life. Okay. Any questions up until now before we jump into the last part? Okay, let me check my phone on the chat. I love the Tulsi example. Thank you. Beautiful story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Nishikan. Thank you. How many personal coaching sessions for package B? So right now, this is a one session that I'm offering for 4,990. And of course, once you come in, I can explain to you only once I see you, or, go in detail into your personal story. I'll be able to guide you on how many sessions you require. Each client is different. Each client comes with a different baggage, a different willingness to let go. And it's a combination of those for me to tell you how many sessions you would actually require, right? The speed of healing is dependent on the client. So if you're somebody who lets go very quickly, one session could be enough. If you're somebody who, finds it difficult to let go, you might need a few more sessions, right? Okay. Thank you, everybody. And let's now jump into how to understand what is happening when somebody triggers you and how to neutralize your triggers. Okay, so can you all in the chat box on the group put in who is that one person who triggers you, and what about them always triggers you? Like you just feel so angry like you can go and kill them. Put it in the chat box quickly. Authority figures, my family, when someone compares me with others. Lovely. They do things repeatedly, which I say don't do, and that triggers me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now, let me give you an insight here, and this is a bitter pill to swallow. But believe me, once you start getting the hang of this, past selfish behavior of my family. Okay. Once you start getting the hang of it, and just these two things you need to remember to neutralize your triggers. Okay. Selfishness. Okay. Okay. Now, the only time a person triggers you, and I would like you all to make a note of this, okay? The only time someone triggers you is A, if you have done it in the past and cannot forgive yourself for it. Or if you think you will do this in the future and you can't accept that or allow that, which is why you keep judging, or that people will keep triggering you who are doing that behavior, which you are afraid you will repeat, or you also have the capacity to repeat. Okay. So let's say if you're talking about selfishness, I'm just going to take this example. Do you have the capacity to be selfish? Have you ever been selfish in the past? And how much does that make you ashamed of yourself? When you cannot forgive yourself for being something, and when you've shut that part away as so unacceptable, and you've locked it away, and then the people who show that face to you are the ones who will trigger you the most, because you can't forgive it in yourself. Okay? Let me take another example, okay? When somebody does not respect you. How to forgive oneself. How to detach from someone. Okay. So these are all things that we can take up when we have more time, either in the personal session or the workshop. But I am, okay. So this person who is writing, this is not my case, and I am not that selfish person. Would you like to come on quickly and have a chat with me about this? It'll just be easier than me reading your messages from here and trying to figure what's going on in your mind. If you're willing to come on, I'm not sure what your name is, but if you're willing to come on, you can open your camera, switch on your camera, and we will unmute you and add you to this chat. Are you willing? Indira is willing. Yes, please. Okay, so put your camera on. Gaur, whoever this is, 503501. I would love to chat. Viva says I have the same problem, but Viva, we'll just wait for a moment because they've said yes. We'll wait for a few seconds. If they don't come on board, you can come, Viva. Simran, can you check?
Checking, but I can't. Okay.
Okay.
I've sent a note request.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Hi, Upma, how are you?
I'm good. I'm liking the session very much.
Thank you.
Enjoying
so much.
it.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to know that. And thank you
It's a
so much
pleasure
for
to be
coming.
here.
And thank you for coming and being willing to have this chat with me. So can you tell me a little bit about what it is that triggers you when someone else does it?
As I said, selfishness, if someone takes advantage of your character, of your habits, that you try to do everything perfectly, and they just leave it on to you that, yeah, you are there, you will ultimately resolve the issues, solve the problems, and they don't put any efforts in the matter. So that becomes a bit more burdenful for us.
Yeah. So
what is
the quality that they are expressing or being, which is unacceptable to you?
Like they become very lazy and they kind of procrastinate the work. They don't do the work on time. They keep saying that they are going to do it, but they never does it. They do it like that. These are the things.
Yeah.
So they never follow the routine. They never, they make the promises but they don't do it. And there is no trust, remains in that kind of situation on the person. So you become a bit kind of, I don't know. I don't like this kind of behavior. That's what I thought. And I don't do that with people. I'm very kind of, I like myself. I do everything, so, the way it should be, like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So what I would like you to do right now is close your eyes and just think, was there ever a time where I could have done something like this?
No, it's not that in my case.
Okay. No,
maybe
that's
something
fine.
else.
That's fine. Maybe something else. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Let's see.
Think now. was there ever a time that you wanted to do something like this? Like you would love to also just be lazy, not do it, put it on someone else. Was there a time
So
that,
my,
yeah?
so my life didn't give me any situation like that. I had to do what I had to do. It was entirely up to me. There was no escape.
Right. Okay. So this kind of explains. So here's what I want you to do, right? So close your eyes and see that part of you that was never given the choice to be this, right?
Yeah.
It was always up to you. If you didn't do it,
Yes.
nobody was going to do it, right? So
Okay.
you had to push yourself and do everything that was required because you didn't have anyone else to put it on,
Yes.
right? And that is tiring,
Yeah.
right? You would have loved for somebody to be there who you could just also off shoulder that responsibility to,
Yeah.
but you never had that person,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So can you acknowledge that there is a part of you that would have loved to have this privilege of not doing something, procrastinating, not following a routine, right? There is a part of you that craves to have this.
Yeah.
Can you see that part of you?
Of course.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah. Now, I want you to give this character a name, right? So this lazy, procrastinating, not following a routine, putting the legs up and just sitting. Let's give this character a name.
So let's call it Choti.
Choti. Okay. Awesome. So let's call her Lazy Choti.
Okay.
Okay. Lazy Choti. So
Yeah.
I want you to now see this Lazy Choti and just observe, what is she wearing, what is she doing, how is she looking, what are the clothes, what is the what is her smell, what is her height, like just notice everything about her.
Yeah.
Can you see her? What is she wearing?
She's wearing a salwar kameez.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And what is her hair how is her hair done up?
Long hair, open hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how is she sitting? What is what is she sitting, standing, dancing, laughing? What is she doing?
She's just standing. She's not sitting.
She's just standing. Okay.
Yeah.
And as you look at her,
Mm-hmm.
what is coming up in your mind?
I think she needs to talk to someone. It's like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Now, I want you to go and sit next to her, okay, and tell her, come sit next to me. I need to talk to you and understand a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And ask her, Choti, how can you be this or this, lazy, procrastinating, not following rules, just, doing what you want, leaving your hair down, being everything you want to be without a sense of responsibility?
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing this? I'm curious. I want to understand. Just sit with her to understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And see what she says.
She says she's tired.
Yeah, she's tired, so she's taking a break, right?
Oh my God.
What happened?
Nothing. Carry on.
What did you realize?
Taking a break.
Yes. And that is,
Sorry, I got a little emotional.
no, this is exactly why shadow work and our triggers are so meaningful, because the thing that triggers you is exactly what you want to do. You hate those people because they are allowing themselves to take a break and you are not. So can you close your eyes, go back to that moment next to Choti and tell her, I want you to give me your ability to take a break. I want you to give me your ability to sit when I'm tired and not do anything. For a while, I want to be able to just allow myself to take a break without feeling guilty, without feeling, oh my God, what will happen to all the work, and thinking and overthinking, and then even doing things when I'm so tired. I want you to give me the ability that you have to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah. Ask her, do you have any other gifts for me?
Mhm.
Maybe there's a thing or two that you can still learn from her, something else.
She's a bit ignorant, I think. And
Okay.
I don't want to be ignorant.
Okay, so we'll not take that from her. We'll not take, or is it that her being ignorant is where she is willing to focus on herself and constantly not focusing on the needs of others, but being ignorant is translating into where she's willing to focus on herself? Is that a capacity she has which you would like? To just
Yeah,
for
that is a
stop
good
thinking
thing.
about others and think about yourself?
Mhm. Yeah, I think that is the only way to get, ourselves more
Yeah, so
in
that's
command. In command.
another
Yeah.
gift Choti has for you, right?
Yeah.
So she has so many things to teach you, right? So this is the Choti that you
Mhm.
have made so wrong, because back then you didn't have the liberty to put your legs up and sit or take a break, right? But
Okay.
now you do. Now you do,
Oh, okay.
right? Now
Yeah.
you do. So can you close your eyes one last time
Mhm.
and give Choti a big hug and say thank you for teaching me these beautiful lessons.
Mhm.
I'm sorry I judged you. I judged you because I could never allow myself to take a break. I judged you because I desperately wanted to, but if I took a break, I was afraid everything would get left. There was no one else to take up and do anything. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for myself because I kept pushing myself over and over and over, not realizing I needed a break. And I kept hating you for being the one that was just trying to tell me, stop, take a break. But I'm so glad that we had this conversation today. I'm so glad that you could give me these gifts where I can also focus on myself now, where I can also give myself the permission to take a break whenever I need to. Thank you for these gifts. And anytime I need a break, Choti, I'm going to think of you, smile, sit with my legs up, sip a cup of chai, aaram se, and just be.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And now
Yeah, it's
think
quite
about this.
relieving. Yeah.
Think about this. All the
Yeah.
people who were triggering you, supposedly for being selfish and, being lazy, were only
Yeah.
people who were giving themselves the permission to take a break. And
Okay.
they were triggering you because you were not giving yourself the permission to take a break.
All right. Yeah.
Right? So the next time you see this
Yeah.
person, anyone being lazy, or anyone you say, ye to bas baithe rehte hain pura din, just smile and tell yourself, now you are not an irritation. You are an inspiration and a reminder. I'm also going to allow myself to take a break when I need to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Understood. Yes.
So there you go. Now a lazy
Thank you so
person or a
much.
selfish person in this matter will never
Yeah.
trigger you, because you'll see them and you'll be like, aha, this is a reminder. I can do it too. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the reminder.
Okay.
And that's how
Yeah.
you visualize your triggers.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
High five.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. High five.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much. So give yourself that and write, maybe a post-it for the next few days. I give myself the permission to take a break whenever I feel like. Okay. It's okay for me to take a break now. All right. Lovely, Upma. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing something that was triggering you. And I'm so glad we could neutralize that trigger. All right. To everyone else, I hope you learned something from this brave woman who came here and shared her trigger. And I hope you understood that truly, deep down, a person who triggers you is either something you cannot accept or forgive in yourself. Like in Upma's case, she could not accept herself for being the person that was, wanting to take a break, wanting to be lazy. And that's why when somebody was being it, it would trigger her every single time. Okay. And the only other time you get triggered is when you want to do it and you stop yourself, or you're afraid you will do it, or you've done it in the past and you can't forgive yourself. So the next time you get triggered, my friend, just take a pause and tell yourself, I give myself the permission to be that person who I'm getting triggered by, because maybe secretly deep down, that's what I want. Now, it will require maybe a session to, if you can figure it out on your own, great. If you can't figure it out, a session is something that really quickly helps. As you saw, it quickly takes you to a place of clarity much easily than sometimes you can do with yourself. Because let me admit something. Even though I'm such a skilled therapist and a coach, when I feel triggered or when I'm stuck with something, I reach out to my peers. I have a group of 2, 3 trusted people who I go to for different issues, and I get it resolved. Because it's like this, right? Even the most skilled surgeon cannot operate on themselves. So sometimes it's just easier to get a session from someone. Sessions are, by the way, a lot of fun, as you just saw. They don't always have to be serious. They can be light. They can be happy. You can have a conversation to know yourself better. And believe me, when you get to know someone, it's just so much easier to love them, because you understand where they're coming from, why they do the things they do, and then you can't really hate them after that. Okay. Any last questions or anything I can clarify you before we end this call? Thank you, Bhagya. I'm so happy to read that you resonated with the session. And yes, we could all see the glow on Upma's face after. What is MPTY? More power to you. Okay. More power to you. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Indira, Bhagya, Nishikant, Vibha, Ritu. Okay, there's a question here. How to forgive ourselves? Indira, you forgive yourself. I mean, of course, we don't really have the time to get into that completely right now, but I'll just give you one little thing to go by. You forgive yourself by reminding yourself that back then you did what you thought was best. Today, in hindsight, today you are a different person and today you might do something differently. But believe me, back then you did not know any better. You did not have the wisdom, the choices, the resources, or the ideas that you have today. Back then you had what you had and you genuinely only did what you thought was best. So you'll have to accept that, TK, I did what was best. I can't change it. The only thing I can do is learn from that experience. Maybe I might say, okay, I will never do that again. And that's fine. What's done is done. And maybe what you can do is write a letter to yourself, where you say, like, this is what I hated about the experience. I hated when you did this, or see the consequences it created. I wish you hadn't done it. And after you have vented out that whole thing, Indira, towards the end, you can say, but it's all right. I understand this is the best you could have thought of, and the best you thought of, you did. And see if you can forgive yourself on your own. If you can't, I would say come for a one-to-one session. It really, really helps. And we could work on it, how to book a one-to-one session. There is a Calendly link that has been shared, in your email. You can go to that link. The sessions there, I think, are 30-minute sessions, but I will be doing a 1-hour session with you. So you can block a time and we can, of course, connect on email as well. Is it sometimes necessary to go away from people and environment who trigger you due to past history? Vibha, this is based on a case-to-case basis, depending if it's a very toxic environment or it's, very, very triggering, then yes, you would need to go away. But sometimes you can't really leave your family or the people if they're very close to you, and you can't really take off for long. So sessions do help making you stronger. So the triggers, even if nothing changes externally, they affect you less. Okay. Any last insights on reclaiming power? Yes, Bhagya, that's a lovely question. Reclaiming your power comes from making peace with all the ugly aspects of you, which otherwise you think are so shameful that you cannot risk anyone finding out about. So you always live in fear. And when you live in fear, you give away your power to the people you're afraid will expose you. So one way to take your power back is to make peace with all those fragments of you you're ashamed of. You feel, I can't let anyone see this part of me. I can't admit I hate people, or I'm actually not a nice person, or I get angry, or I have evil thoughts. You start making peace with those parts of you. You start taking your power back. Okay. Simran, is there anything else we need to do before we end this call? It's an amazing feeling to reconnect ourselves. Thank you so much for Janki for the fabulous experience. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janki. I think we have covered everything. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all for joining. Remember, the time to sign up ends today, right, Simran?
No, not really. Like, people can sign up, but the offer amount will change after today.
Yes. Yes. So today you get the special prices. From tomorrow, the prices increase. So if you want the benefit of getting self-love at a very competitive price, make sure you sign up today. Otherwise, of course, you can sign up tomorrow or later, but the regular prices apply, not the summit prices. One last thing I want to tell you is, be the source of the love, the appreciation, the kindness that you seek from others. Because when you start giving it to yourself, believe me, you won't need it from anyone else. When you fill your own cup, you will never be unhappy or devoid of all those things that you crave. And believe me, you deserve every bit of love and appreciation that anyone has to give. Okay, but it starts with you. So put your hand on your heart and tell yourself, I'm going to be the choosing one. Can we all do that? Whoever's there, put your cameras on for just one moment. Give me company as I do this. Thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Put your cameras on and say it, right? I choose me. I choose to become the source of everything that I'm looking for from others. I'm going to stop waiting to be the chosen one and become the choosing one who chooses myself from now every day. Thank you. I love you all. You all have been fantastic. Great participation, great presence. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for choosing to love yourselves a little more. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all in the workshop. Take care.
Thank you so much, Janki. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you.